Hey guys, I'm Marco Pez, and it's finally recording now. So I'm here again, showing you a deck profile I showed you not so long ago. It is Piper Countdown, but this is a better version than my last one. If anything, my last one will be a base for people to work on, because it's not exactly got a lot of text in it, it's not got the best text, it's just a basic countdown deck. I made some pointers of what cards you should and shouldn't run. Obviously, it can't afford to fall. You shouldn't run in a deck. You shouldn't run anything which cannot be destroyed by battle in this deck, only because of the freaking Papilloperative. That thing will kill you. Every deck, every meta deck runs that now. So if you go up against it and then you set something which can't be destroyed by battle, you're going to get hit a lot on that turn, because everyone knows that meta right now, it spams the field and it will smash you. So anyway, I won't be showing a side deck because my side decks will change. Every one of my side decks has changed since I last showed you. There's no point in me really showing it because it's literally just going to change again and again and again. So I can give you tips because of the current meta, what could be coming and what is coming. I can help, just to help you prepare for it for Countdown. But without further ado, I shall show you the deck profile. Just need to move my webcam a bit forward back. Alright, now obviously we have the free countdown, free Mystic Pipers. This is my favorite card of the deck, and it is my favorite card ever. I love this guy. He is amazing. I wish I could just make Trolling Pipers or Piper Chaos, which some people call, but I'm not convinced by it. I'd love to make it because I love the Pipers, but as I said, not convinced. But these are awesome, and they have a lot of good combos. So we've also got two Kinkabora, central card. It's just basically so you can keep reusing your Piper, and it also comes back to your hand. If you also want to troll your opponent, a nice little play, just play that, play a creature swap on him, your opponent takes it, and then at the end turn it comes back to your hand. So it's pretty cool. One Sangan. This is a new card I put in, only because it searches all the monsters except for a couple. Like all the hard stalling engines like Swift Scarecrow, it can search that. Remember I drew this on the 18th turn, set it, waited for the opponent, he attacked into it, it was like, okay. Search Swift Scarecrow, that's game. Two Cyber Valley. The reason I'm running Cyber Valley is because I don't have card cut Ds right now, so these make up for it stupidly. Because as much as you know you need another monster in the field, you think, oh god, now I gotta waste I gotta waste something else with it. I mean, I never play this and just let my opponent attack into it, because the chances are they are just going to bash it with an effect or something like that. So, it's good. It's like Card Cut D. Free Swift Scarecrow, the best stalling engine of the deck so far. I just wish it would be reprinted in a higher rarity other than common, because it's so much better than Battle Fader and deserves such a higher rarity than Battle Fader. So if anyone knows of like a higher rarity of this, just let me know so I can just get it. But free Battle Fader, ugh. These are good, not gonna lie. They have saved my skin. But if you have a choice between a Battle Fader and a Swift Scarecrow late game, go Swift Scarecrow. There is no point letting them frickin' solemn your Battle Fader. That's happened to me too many times, and you know, you need to learn from those things. Okay, that's all the monster stall. Well, not exactly, because this is a new card I put in. It's pretty much exclusive to the UK, and it's Mateon, the Time Lord. This guy is a boss. He is the boss of this deck, because if you have no monsters on the field, you can normal summon him without a tribute. Okay, so just normal. He cannot be destroyed by card effects, and if he attacks or is attacked, return all monsters on the field to the owner's hand, and inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each monster that was returned to their hand. So, he's awesome. And in the standby phase, yes, he does go back to the deck. And it even states when he's face down, so guys who think you can just Book of Moon him, no. If he is set, and it's your standby phase, he still goes back. Because it even says that. If Book of Moon could work with this guy, oh, I would frickin'... oh, I'd love him so much more. But I love him as he is. You can do burn damage, and you can just troll your opponent. You don't even have to attack, because you will probably run into a D Prism. So if you are going to use him, just play him and end. Your opponent cannot do anything. They can solemn him, they can't bottomless him, they can't torrential. If they torrential, their monsters are just going to get blown up. This is not. So he's awesome. Two Lava Golem, essential. I main deck these for obvious reasons. Everyone's using spammy decks. The meta is very spammy. So, you know, you need to get past that. And also Six Samurais, you know, as much as you can get rid of the Shien lock, they also have their Natura, Beast, Barkion, and Landois. You gotta get rid of those. Also, if you're going up against Dino Rabbit, Lagia and Dolka can't get past this. So just tribute them both, special. Works. Not even Evil Swarm Ophion, for those who are interested in Evil Swarm set. Not even Evil Swarm Ophion gets past it, because it's a summoning condition. It has to happen for it to be able to be special summoned. Two Tragodia. I love these guys so much. I run these in pretty much every one of my decks now, because if you've literally got nothing in your first hand, your opponent goes to the attack, you just drop it, it's a 3k defense, because you know you're going to have 5 cards in hand. So he's awesome. And he works so well with Pipers. Alright. Then we finally got the Gaurs. So, yeah. The deadly trio of hand traps. Awesome. I love them. Now, obviously, we have the final countdown. Q-Song! No, I'm not a tool. And I don't want to rub it in people's faces. Because I'm not like that. I'm a troll, but, you know, don't be a dick. But final countdown, obviously, you know, win condition. There's a lot of bad things about this deck, but I'll get into that later. Free 1 day a piece. Works stupidly. This is the main method of stall as well. You save these and your Swift Scarecrows to the last couple of turns. Like, if you got 3 of these in your hand and 3 Swift Scarecrows in your hand and it's like turn 10, you should just call it game. That is 6 turns of stall right there. And I don't think your opponent would even be able to even try to get past it. And also, just for those who are wanting to know how to beat Countdown, 1 day a piece, negate it. Free upstarts, love these. I'm so glad that I started running free now instead of 1. As much as I did say before, like, oh yeah, you should only run 1 because of blah 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 blah. Nah, just run free. Free is so much better than just 1. Pot of Duality, essential, you know, you're just adding cards to your hand, searches, blah 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 blah. 1 Suck Gold Sark, I took 1 out because I want to keep the minimum to 40, or around 40, because I don't like going over, because you want to minimize your deck as much as you can, just so you can get the countdown opening hand, and even if you don't, you will probably draw into this, and you can probably draw into countdown later on. I mean, you have other ways to stall your opponent, stuff like that. A Heavy Storm and a Dark Hole. These cards are cards that I added in from my side deck. I main decked them because, obviously, you know, you're not always going to have Lava Golem in your hands, and you're not always going to be able to, you know, get past some things, because people can lock you down with their Vakro. So, you got the Heavy Storm for that. Now, Dark Hole. Dark Hole is also nice because, you know, it can lure your opponent's effects. Like, a lot of people, you know, with Lagia, you know, let's say they summon a whole field with Lagia and stuff like that. You don't have Lava Golem, but you top deck this. If you top deck this, this is awesome. You just play that, lures their Lagia, so you can do all your plays. Also, with wind-ups, it works as well. Because, pretty much, they will go for their Shockmaster loop as soon as they find out that you're running Countdown. But because I played Countdown first turn, he was like, okay, monster effects. I was like, I'm not bothered about that, because I had Dark Hole in my hand. Next turn it was just Dark Hole, and he could not recover, and it was a game from there. Then finally we got the Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice, essential card. You want to recycle those Swift Scarecrows as much as you can. And also with this, you want to keep 1 Mystic Piper in your grave at all times. Never put all your Pipers back into your deck, unless you're doing that shit. Excuse my language. Free Threatening Roar, staple method of stall, pretty nice. Free Waboku, very good as well. 2 Frozen Soul and 2 Thunder of Roar. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, this does stack over Threatening Roar, but not a lot of people really understand why, and they never explain it in their videos. I looked at a couple of deck profiles on the internet just to figure out, you know, is there anything I'm missing? And there wasn't really anything I was missing. I had a very consistent draw engine, I had a good method of search, and I had a nice method of trolling as well. To reset fields, that is a good thing to do in this deck, resetting the field, because then, at least then, you know, oh, sorry, I have a really bad cough, and I felt like I was going to cough, then I was just holding it back. But resetting the field works, because if you reset your opponent's field, good. But Frozen Soul, no one explains why this stacks, and it's because of the ruling and the wording. Now, Thunder of Ruler, your opponent cannot enter their battle phase. They cannot do anything like that. But it has to be activated in the standby phase. You can then chain Frozen Soul to that. Now, the reason Frozen Soul stacks is because it says your opponent skips their next battle phase. Now, as much as that sounds like, yeah, but that means you wouldn't go into it. No, what it means is your opponent would have to declare battle phase, and then it would skip. If your opponent does not declare his battle phase, this will skip onto the next turn. No one on Dueling Network I know realizes this. And every time I activate it, they're like, okay, end. I'm like, okay, so now it goes over to your next turn. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. And then he tried to redo. Now, I'm not being funny. When people redo, I always say, okay, if it's just a minor mistake. But I expect people to know rulings as good as me, because I'm not exactly that good of a player. I'm running Countdown, for Christ's sake. I mean, I can run normal decks. I do run decks that are very beaty. I run frogs, stuff like that. But I know rulings as much as they come and go. And if some people just don't know the rulings of this card, I've even seen people running Final Countdown not even knowing why Frozen Soul stacks. So that's just a little bit of help of why it stacks. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be showing you a side deck, but I'm just going to move the webcam up. Well, hey. But the reason I'm not showing is because, meta changes, decks change, stuff like that. Now, to side, really, if you're going to side, you want torrential tributes. Because, if your opponent gets smart on you, if you're going against wind-ups, you want these. You're going to really want these. Because your opponent spams his field out, and then, you know the deal. It's just, they go Shockmaster, they're going to call magics. They won't call traps, because they know you're running Countdown. So it's like, as soon as they summon it, just T-Trib. They may be able to do it all next turn, but you still got another T-Trib. You should at least side 2 of these. Actually, you can only side 2 of these, but you have to. It's essential. You should also side 3 MST. The reason is because there are cards that lock us down. After all, Royal Decree. Royal Decree really hurts us. But then again, if we were to go up against Chainburn, we could just Royal Decree and we wouldn't be bothered. And that is a good thing. You should also side Royal Decree because of that. Exodia. Side in Exchange. Now, I'm just pretty much telling you how to counter troll decks that can beat you. Exodia, you want to side in Exchange as much as they have a chance of getting your Countdown. You just don't do it when you have Countdown in hand. I've actually seen someone play it straight away when they had Countdown. I was just like, are you fucking stupid? And it was just like, he had less cards than me in his deck. I was just like, okay, then I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to do any drawing engines. I'm not going to do anything, and you're just going to lose. So yeah. There are a couple of other sides you may want to side. D-Fissure, because a lot of new decks coming out, like Fire Kings, they're going to revolve around the grave. They have to be destroyed and sent to the grave. If they are not, then they don't get their effects. So Grunix doesn't get to come back. So it's just things like that. It's little text, stuff like that. It helps a lot. I mean, as much as you are running a stall deck, you got to realize that your opponent can beat you. This deck is not unstoppable. This deck loses quite a lot, surprisingly, for what it is. And this deck I've got right now, I think it's one of the best Countdown decks out there. Except for, I'm not running Card Ds. If I could, I would, but I can't. But it loses, and it loses dramatically due to misplays and just bad hands. Now, you got to make sure that you know how to stun your opponent. If you can stun your opponent while you have Countdown out, you can just pretty much call it game. I mean, that's how I've learned how to play Countdown. But anyway, I'm Barcode Pez. I'm signing off now because I'm pretty tired, and this video is 14 minutes long. So, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Leave your opinions and your views on my Countdown deck. And if anyone actually has any cards that I've missed on, if someone says Hope for an Escape, I'm just going to say no, because it's not consistent draw engine. As much as you get to draw 6 times, it's better in Exodia than it is in Countdown. Maxi, yes, you can use that, but it's only for wind-ups. You get to get your hand, stuff like that, but it will only be pure wind-up. But either way, I'm Barcopez, I'm signing off. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will get another deck profile to you guys as soon as I can. Next year, I will be making Fire Kings and Evil Swarms. I will also be bringing in Hieratic Gishki, stuff like that, because it just makes it so much more possible. But anyway, goodbye guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile.